For me, what is really encouraging, and for my team, what is really a big motivator is what is happening to the individual CH. Maya, one of the CHs, when she came to the program, she had just lost a baby. And she was going through a personal meltdown of sorts because the family also blamed her in some way for the baby's death. The baby had epileptic fits, and she had no guidance on how to reach medical care for them. When she came to this program, she realized that this is an opportunity for her to actually offer proper advice and direct people to healthcare facilities that are there. So she associated herself with the local PHC. And now she's almost, an honorary member of the PHC team.
PlusTrust was founded by Lalitha Iyer in memory of her daughter who passed away under tragic circumstances. And so she and her daughter's teacher got together to start this. PlusTrust supports young entrepreneurs in the field of health and education across many backward geographies of India. Their work has improved the quality of basic services that are available to 20,000 children and adolescents in remote communities. And again, just amazing how cost effective their interventions are and how they've built a movement of grassroots change makers.
Hi, Lalita. Thank you so much for joining me in conversation in our series From Spare Change to Real Change. The whole idea of this series is to really wake up more people to the idea of philanthropy and giving. And we want to focus on the many amazing organizations that are doing many amazing things like yours, PlusTrust. And I want to start with the birth of PlusTrust.
We started PlusTrust in 2009 informally, and it was registered in 2010. We started it in the memory of my daughter who passed away in 2008. She was doing her social work and quite enjoying what she was doing and looking forward to doing more of it when suddenly she died. It was just a bout of fever and she was gone. So we said that we should try to do something in her memory, and then it was me, her mother, a classmate of hers, Smriti, and a mentor of hers, Shanti. Three of us got together to set up the trust. Since 2016, our focus has been fairly well defined. That we work for rural women change makers, and we offer them micro incubation support. So if you look at startups, and in a place like Bangalore, everybody is into startups these days. There is somebody or other putting some money, somebody giving some support, some ideas, and there is a whole mahole to support. But if you're a woman sitting in a village and there's a bee in your bonnet, there's really no one out there who will allow you to take a risk. And money is scarce. Therefore, we came up with this approach of what we call the Rural Women Edupreneur Fellowship. The present initiative that I want to focus on in this conversation, that is called the Community Health Entrepreneurs. And it's it's built on the idea of the edupreneurs. And really the trigger was the COVID crisis. Some of our network members, especially during the second wave, they contacted us and said, look, we have to do something. What can we all do together? In this place called Khandwa, which is in Madhya Pradesh, our local anchor there, Tausif, one day rang us up desperately and said, look, I want 4 lakh rupees. What's happening, Tausif? Why do you want 4 lakhs? He said, government has contacted us and they are going to use a hostel here and set it up as a COVID center for the not so critically ill. And we need to get a couple of oxygen concentrators. But the district administration doesn't have money. We passed the word in personal networks and people gave 2,000, 3,000, whatever. And it all added up. Within 3 days, I think they had the money required for 2 concentrators. It started with this, and this is when, with each next step, we discovered more and more about the lack of healthcare. What we take for granted, like for instance, a thermometer, is not so readily available. Forget oximeter. I was looking around for people who want to do something about the last mile gaps in healthcare delivery. And that's when we happened to get in touch with Bahar Foundation, which has been set up by Meena Ganesh of Portia. So they were very keen to see what they can do in the healthcare arena, and they wanted a local partner. So when we got in touch, they were quite enthusiastic, and very soon we had our first batch going. We started in March 22 and identified 21 girls from 3 locations. We looked out for girls in the community who are interested in healthcare and who are willing to do something which is other than a job. The first batch completed their training and started their work in about 6 months' time.
So when they are done with their training, this is like they set up their own practice in their community. Is that what happens?
They don't set up a shop or something. They operate from homes, and they go to the patient's house to deliver the service.
How is the community made aware of them?
From the beginning, they have been doing a lot of outreach work. They talk in schools, they talk in SHGs, they talk to the panchayat. Then we organize health camps so that the population knows that this girl is there and she has brought this health camp to their community. So that's how awareness is built.
In the short term, what impact have you seen? How are you thinking of scaling this?
For me, what is really encouraging, and for my team, what is really a big motivator is what is happening to the individual CH. Maya, one of the CHs, when she came to the program, she had just lost a baby. And she was going through a personal meltdown of sorts because the family also blamed her in some way for the baby's death. The baby had epileptic fits, and she had no guidance on how to reach medical care for them. When she came to this program, she realized that this is an opportunity for her to actually offer proper advice and direct people to healthcare facilities that are there. So she associated herself with the local PHC. And now she's almost, an honorary member of the PHC team because she's learned so many useful things sitting.
Yeah.
And what for me is most touching is the way she has said that I don't want anybody to go through what I went through with my child. So this is my opportunity to do something.
I think that's amazing.
Another one is a lady called Kavita. Her story is a typical abusive alcoholic husband, 2 children, beating, etc., all that kind of thing. And then when this program came along, she was able to step out, and she not only began doing tests, she also began retailing pads and things like that. And now she has some money in her hand, which is her own. She's making some 3,000 to 4,000 rupees a month, which is a very big thing for her. And she's been able to move out of this place. This year, we wanted to, do about 100 such fellowships during this financial year. So right now, we are in the process of launching 2 new batches. A batch of around 15 in Bihar, Muzaffarnagar, and a repeat batch in Udaipur, Nagda, and Khandwa. The scaling up is happening in 2 ways. One is, of course, the number and the locations, obviously. The other is we are really integrating more services so that, the next batch will hit the ground running. Whatever we've learned from this batch, it will be quicker for them. The cycle of learning will be quicker for them. And they will have a larger range of things that they offer to the community so that, it won't be too long before the community can understand the health impact of their work. Right now, we can clearly understand the economic impact of their work.
But eventually, that's your goal, to be able to make material difference. Lalitha, what have been your biggest challenges setting this whole initiative up?
See, first of all, PlusTrust had no depth or any toe also in healthcare. So we had to find a partner, and I would say it's some serendipity that we happened to hear of Bahar's interest in this, and Bahar happened to hear about us, and that clicked. That was the first big challenge. And then, identifying girls. If you promise a girl a job, she's interested. But if you say it's not a job, 5 months down the line, you're going to be out there in the field and earning on your own, and nobody's going to be behind you. Then it's not as attractive as a job.
They still need to buy into the idea of entrepreneurship.
Then, gearing ourselves up as a team to handle all this training in medical related subjects. And in the middle, there is always, what is happening in the family, what is happening in the community. Many of them have their own health issues. So dealing with that whole dynamic, that was a challenge. And I think by the time we finished the first batch, we couldn't believe it that 14, 15 of them are committed to continue out of the 21 who started.
It'll be lovely to see and track their journey. What are your funds mainly used for?
The cost of getting one woman to set up end-to-end is around 1.15 lakhs. This includes the kit itself, which is about 20, and the kit includes a smartphone, because we want them to be digitally savvy, and hopefully there will be app-based work that is possible, so we want to prepare them for that. So that kit cost is about 20,000. The next big part of the money is stipend, so that their personal needs, they have to spare time from whatever else they were doing to attend the train, to learn new things, etc., etc. So that is 5,000 a month. And then in-person training, travel, then coordination.
So really all of the money that you raise goes towards training and enabling, and the more money you raise, the more you'll be able to scale.
Now we are in a position where we think that during this year, scaling 100 is within our reach, but we don't have promise of money yet. So money is very important. And I think Ravi has been one of the first persons to understand the potential of this, because we think it's not only us. This thing can be replicated anywhere by anybody. It can happen anywhere where health services are not so ready.
I think it's very inspiring, and you don't use that word lightly. And I hope anyone listening in reaches out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.